When did you realize your parent was manipulating you your whole life? Growing up, my mother Piper told me my father Lester had abandoned us when I was 2 years old. She said he walked out one day, never to return, leaving her to raise me alone. She painted him as a monster who couldn't handle being a father and who never once looked back. I grew up hating him for leaving us, for not caring enough to even send a birthday card. By elementary school, I had constructed an entire narrative about him, a selfish man who had forgotten I existed. Every year on my birthday, my mother would get emotional, telling me how she had to work extra shifts to provide for us because Lester refused to pay child support. She made sure I knew how much she sacrificed while he lived carefree. When I was 8, I asked about contacting him. Mom showed me a court document that she said proved he had given up his parental rights. I remember staring at the official-looking paper with stamps and signatures, not understanding the legal terms but believing every word she said about it. She took the paper away before I could really examine it. When I was 10, a classmate's parents went through a bitter divorce. Watching my friend's dad fight to stay in her life made me question why my own father hadn't done the same. I asked my mother about it. She told me Lester had explicitly said he wanted nothing to do with me. He never wanted to see you again, she said. I cried myself to sleep that night. When I was 12, my mom started giving me presents from Grandma on my birthdays and Christmas. Grandma lived across the country and we rarely saw her, but I was grateful she thought of me. The gifts were always exactly what I wanted. Mom would say, "Your grandma loves you so much," unlike some people. The message was clear. I wrote thank you letters to Grandma, which my mother promised to mail. I never received replies. At 18, I tried to find him online out of curiosity. Mom caught me searching his name and became furious. "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me? By looking for the man who abandoned us?" She didn't speak to me for 3 days. I felt so guilty that I never tried again. I promised her I would never betray her like Lester had. She hugged me and said, "You're all I have." The truth came out when I was 21. I was scrolling through social media when a suggested friend appeared, Atlas, with the last name matching mine. His profile picture showed a striking resemblance to me. Curious, I clicked on his profile and saw he was my age. His father, listed as Lester, looked like an older version of Atlas. This man, who I'd been told abandoned his family, had another child my exact age. Something didn't add up. I stared at their photos for hours, noting the family resemblance. I sent Atlas a message, asking if Lester was his father and if he knew anything about me. He responded immediately. "He's been looking for you for years." Atlas gave me Lester's phone number. I called him that night, my hands shaking. When he answered, all he said was, "Bella, is it really you?" I barely managed to confirm it was me before he broke down crying. We talked for 3 hours straight. We met the next day. Lester brought a large box with him. Inside were hundreds of letters he'd written to me over the years, all returned unopened. There were birthday cards for every year of my life, receipts for child support payments he'd made monthly without fail, court documents showing he had fought for custody and visitation but was denied on technicalities, school registration forms where he'd tried to add himself as an emergency contact. "I never abandoned you," he said. He showed me photos of the room he had kept ready for me in his house for 21 years. The room had my name painted on the door. The gifts from Grandma had all been from him. He'd send them to my mother's mother, who would forward them to us, allowing my mom to lie about their origin. The court document Mom had shown me years ago, it was actually a restraining order she had taken out against Lester, claiming harassment when he kept trying to see me. The judge had sympathized with a single mother and granted it. I confronted my mother with what I'd learned. She didn't deny it. "I did what I had to do," she said. "He would have poisoned you against me." When I asked why she lied about the child support, she said she needed me to understand how hard she worked for us. When I asked about the letters, she said she was protecting me from false promises. 2 months later, I moved in with Lester. I needed to know the father I'd been robbed of for 21 years, the man who had never stopped loving me or fighting for me. My mother has been telling everyone I betrayed her. She's turned family members against me, telling them I've rejected her after all she did as a single mother. Then I found an unsent letter in Lester's box, dated from when I was 5. In it, he begged my mother to let him see me, offering to give her full custody and double the child support if she would just allow occasional visits. Attached was her response: "Stay away, or I'll make sure she hates you forever." She had been manipulating not just me, but him too, using me as a weapon to hurt him for leaving her.